What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the best team in FIFA. Today I have got a Festival of FUT squad with a maximum limit of 50,000 coins per player. It was sent in by a viewer. I've got his information on Discord, however I've put it all into FUTBin so that I could see the prices and stuff. And like me, he's a big fan of the 442, so that's pretty awesome. And I was basically asked for a few teams in the Discord, obviously the member only Discord, if you want to sign up. Link is in the description below. And I got sent this one, and I love the look of this for a few reasons. Number one, the Festival of FUT cards look amazing. Number two, this actually looks like a quality squad. And number three, the fact that it's limited to 50,000 coins per player offers so much scope for you guys that might have untradables, might have limited resources, and that are just grinding for players. Which is pretty awesome. So before we get into this, if you could drop a thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. And if you want to have your team featured on the best team in FIFA, you have to be part of the members club. That sounds so cheesy, but the members YouTube club link is of course down below. And we're going to start in goal, guys. And in goal, let me get the full player price list currently. So in goal, we have got Premier League player. We have got Claudio Bravo, Festival of FUT. So Bravo right now is 28,000 coins. A little bit short for my liking at 6 foot tall, but has decent enough weak foot and the traditional play style, traditional save style should I say, but he's actually got really well-rounded stats. Good diving reflexes, handling, great kicking, a little cheesy on positioning, and good speed. So I would probably give this guy a chem style that would boost his diving, handling and positioning personally, probably the glove. His reflexes are nice and high already. Although reflexes are important, I don't think giving a shield is a wise choice because boosting speed and kicking on goalkeepers, in my personal experience, has never been useful. And the only other one that does reflexes is the cat, and again that then boosts speed, which I don't think is useful. So in terms of boosting the most necessary stats, I think glove is probably the perfect chem style, boosts diving, handling and positioning, which of course is very nice. In at right back, I've been given the chem styles for the rest of the players, of course. It was just a goalkeeper that was missing. It was on a basic chem style. So that was just my opinion on that for what it's worth. In at the right back slot, guys, we have got TRIPPIER. So Trippier goes for 32,750 coins. We've been asked to give him an anchor card. High work rates. Which for a fullback is actually pretty good, especially with a 4-star weak foot. That's very, very nice. What I like about this TRIPPIER card is he has got great pace. It's just an incredibly well-rounded defender in general. He's got really good passing, really good shooting from outside the box, really good, well-rounded defending and physical. With the anchor chem style, he gets, a nice acceleration and sprint speed boost. He gets a nice boost to those defensive stats and a nice boost to that strength and aggression as well, which is fantastic. With 99 stamina is perfect. The only downside to this whole card, in my opinion, and it's not really a downside, is his reactions at 85. That's still pretty good reactions. I personally like my defenders to have really high reactions. I value the reaction stat on defenders massively. I know some people do, some people don't. I personally do. But this is a pretty good card all in all. 5'10", high, 4-star weak foot, and just really well-rounded stats. I'm excited to get on the board with him. The two centre-backs that we are playing with today is Rojo and Maguire. Rojo coming in at one of the more expensive players, still under that 50k budget, but at 43,000 coins. For Rocco, really good card this looks to be. Medium high work rate, 6'2", ideal. Great base starting pace, really good defending and physical. Again, a little low on reactions and ball control, but not the worst in the world. I personally, for this card, would apply a shadow chem style to it. I'd go up to 88 sprint speed and 91 acceleration and boost up those defensive stats massively. We've been asked to give him an anchor. That puts him to 83 sprint speed and 86 acceleration. I don't necessarily think in today's current meta that's fast enough for a centre-back. No matter how good the defensive and physical stats are, every player we're going to come up against, every team we're going to come up against is going to have 99 pace attack players. So I personally would give him a shadow chem style, but the anchor is what we're going to be using today. And Harry Maguire coming in at 20,000 coins, medium work rate, 6'2", 3-star weak foot, just like Rojo, reactions, 89 is alright to be fair. Defensive stats are good, physical stats are good. What I don't like about this card, even with a shadow chem style, is he only goes to 86 sprint speed and 78 acceleration. He's actually going to feel really slow off the mark, and he's got super low agility. So when you're trying to turn around and run backwards with him, he's just going to get burned for pace constantly. It is a decent card outside of that. Good passing, good composure, good defensive stats generally, great strength and aggression, which we love. But yeah, I'm not overly keen on the agility, the pace of this card. Be interesting to see how he plays in game. And then at left back, guys, we have got Mendy. Now, I've actually used Mendy before. I love this card. I think this is a good card. Mendy comes in at 24,000 coins. 6'1", high medium, which for a fullback is pretty decent. Medium high work rates, if you can get them on fullbacks, are great. Today's world, we don't really have many outside of high medium. Obviously, Trippier at high is great. What I love about Mendy is he's just really well balanced. He's already got great sprint speed and pace. So with the Anchor Chem style, goes to 97 sprint speed, 96 acceleration. Really good defensive boost, really good physical boost. Again, another one that's a little low on reactions, not the greatest passing either, but his crossing is really nice and high, and because of his good physicals as a fullback, he will actually bully a lot of the wingers that you'll come up against, because a lot of the wingers, maybe not like the 99s and 98s of Hazards and Neymars and such, but a lot of the players that you might come up against, your typical kind of team of the week, team of the season, or festival of FUT wingers have relatively low strength. So he'll be able to bully those. I've used him, as I said, I've used him in a few teams already, and I actually really enjoy this card. I think it's a good card. And like I said, guys, one of the things that I loved about this team and the fact that it has a 50k price cap on each player is that you might already have some players in your team, you might have some icons, some untradables from the upgrade packs or from what EA have given, and you might think, okay, I can actually improve the squad with under 50k per player, and this is what we're going for. As I say, the overall squad price right now is actually 320,000 coins on both consoles. So with that in mind, we're an average of about 30,000 coins per player on average. On our right midfield slot, guys, we have got Shaqiri, 89 rated. He's currently selling for 29,000 coins. This looks to be a great card. 4-star, 4-star, good pace and dribbling, good shooting and passing, good physicals. You know, he's got great shot power and long shots. He's got incredible agility and balance. His sprint speed, not the best, but with that engine card, goes up to 90 sprint speed, 99 acceleration, which is great. Gets a good boost to dribbling and a good boost to passing. He's got good long shots anyway, and relatively decent physicals. Based on who the strikers are here, by the way, I'm actually quite surprised that he's not the striker. I would probably personally play him up front. Compared to one of the other strikers that we've got that I would prefer to play on the wing. But this is a good card by all means. 4-star, 4-star is obviously fantastic, and he's got a wicked long shot on him as well, which is good news. And on the left-hand side, guys, we've got a guy who is 18,000 coins, and that is Nasser Chadli. 4-star weak foot again, which is great. 6'2", which is great. I remember having this card last year from an SBC, and I used him as a centre mid. I actually still believe that this would be an incredible centre mid card. He's got good passing, good short passing, good curve, good vision, good composure. He's nice and strong. I think this would make a very good central base card, but we've given a catalyst to this card, and I kind of understand why. You know, a really good boost to pace, a really good boost to passing. It goes to 98 acceleration and 98 sprint speed, which obviously is rapid. With the Catalyst Chem style, he gets a huge boost on passing. His shooting is relatively well rounded. I like his ball control, his dribbling, his composure, but once again, for a winger, quite like Maguire with his agility, for a winger with Chadli, the fact he's got low agility and low balance, specifically balance, I know EA do that for tall players to kind of balance the game itself. I don't know how well he's going to play. Is he going to be a super heavy player? Is his touch going to be bad? Is he going to feel clunky? Because that's what a lot of people get, that feel of clunkiness is usually due to agility and balance within players. And the fact that he's quite low on that could be quite a problem. But he's got great stamina, great strength, just really well-rounded stats. And for 18,000 coins, I don't know if you can really complain about a card this good for 18,000 coins. You know, worst case scenario is actually going to cost you 8,000 coins because you could discard them afterwards and get 10,000 coins back. I'm interested. I'm excited to play with this card and see how it plays. In midfield, guys, we've got a really good balance in midfield. First and foremost, we've got Santi Cazorla. Obviously, as an Arsenal fan, it's good to see him in the club. And our other midfielder is going to be Aaron Moy. So Santi Cazorla has great things to say about him straight away. 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, amazing. He's got high-low work rates, which is interesting for a centre mid, but he's 5'6". As you guys well know through the years, really, I'm not the biggest fan of really small players in FIFA. I personally feel like big, tall, strong players are more beneficial. In spite of what I just said about Chadli, you know, the Gareth Bales, the Cristiano Ronaldos, those kind of guys, they just dominate far more than the really little guys like the Lionel Messis or the Insignes or the Mertens. Obviously, there are some anomalies to that, like the 99 versions or 98 team of the season versions of Messi's and Mertens and stuff. They still bang in this game because they get a big strength boost, so the height is kind of negated quite a lot. But generally speaking, shorter players could be problematic, and 5'6" for CAZORLA and only 5'9" for Aaron Moy. So one of the things I notice about this team straight away is that it does have a really small feel to it. Even the centre-backs, Harry Maguire, 6'2", I think Morocco's 6'2" as well. So 6'2" is the highest there from the centre-backs. TRIPPIER down at 5'10". Mendy, 6'1" for Mendy. Actually, we've got a big left-hand side in Mendy and Chadley, but the right-hand side in the middle of the park is actually relatively small. We've got a shadow on Aaron Moy, makes sense. Good card, 4-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves, really well rounded. The shadow chem style boosts that pace nicely. His dribbling is good, little low on reactions again, but his passing is well balanced. His physicals are great. His defending would be great with that shadow chem style. This, again, for a card that costs 43,000 coins, this is a great card. The other most expensive card alongside Rocco right here is Aaron Moy, and then Santi Cazorla is crazy cheap. 30,000 coins for a card with these stats is outrageous. Insane dribbling, insane passing, great shooting, good pace. We've been asked to put a marksman on him, which boosts his dribbling, shooting, and physicals. So a nice little boost to that strength and aggression. He's a little low on stamina, which also might cause problems, especially due to the fact that he has got a high attacking work rate. So when you're running back with him constantly, you might burn a lot of stamina with him. But it's a good card. Then up front, the first striker that we've got is going to be a player that I'm actually looking forward to using, and that is Chicharito here. Chicharito with the marksman chem style. No pace boost to him, which is interesting because he's got medium-low work rates, which anyway is problems for me. I've not really enjoyed through the year medium-low work rate players, and he's got 3-star, 3-star, but his pace, his sprint speed generally is actually quite bad. Now, the positives is that his acceleration is rapid, so he's going to feel really quick off the mark, but over longer distances, he'll get caught up by defenders, fullbacks, defensive midfielders. I like this card a lot because it's got really good reactions and composure. It's got really good finishing and positioning, obviously. Shot power is not ideal, but the marksman does address some of that shot power issues. His dribbling gets boosted and his physical gets boosted as well. It is by all means a striker's striker. Good finishing, good dribbling, and then okay pace to hopefully get in behind the defenders. But the shooting on this card is so good. The passing, not the greatest. Defending, obviously terrible. He can jump and head, which is good because there is a relatively slight chance of a crossing meta with this team. We've got two good wide men. He's not the tallest at 5'9", but he has got good jumping, good heading, which is quite good. So I'm excited to try and get him on the field and use him. And then the other player that we've got up front, which as I said was an interesting one to me, is Pedro. Now, I personally would play Shaqiri up front and Pedro out on the wing. I just think it's a better fit for the squad in general. But we've been asked to be using Pedro up front. We've got a Hawk chem style on him. I think the reason why he's up front is because he's got a 5-star weak foot. And I do rate that. 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, great pace, great acceleration and sprint speed. And with the Hawk chem style, it gets that even boosted even more. Good finishing and positioning, of course. Good long shots. Shot power a little to be desired, but not bad. Really good dribbling stats, good stamina, good passing, and good curve for those finesse shots. A little low on strength and aggression, and another short player. And I think that's kind of one of the problems that I do see with this team. Even though these players are quite cheap, and Hernandez comes in at 19,000 coins and Pedro at 35,000 coins. Even though these players are quite cheap, this team is just generally a super small team. So it's going to be interesting how that deals with any potential big tanky teams we come up against. If we do manage to come up against a Ruud Gullit, a Milinkovic-Savic, a Bakayoko Fati's winner card, I wonder if these attackers and midfielders will just get dominated and run off the park by those. We're going to give it our best shot though. We're actually going to be playing in the DKT with this team. We're going to see how it goes. That is the squad, guys. Let's get into the action. Okay, guys, as we go into the gameplay, the first opponent we'll come up against has got a 3-4-1-2 team. Or sorry, a 3-5-2, should I say. Not the greatest team, especially for this stage of the game. There are so many easy, good teams that you can get. And in fact, I think the next episode of the best team in FIFA from you guys. If you do want to suggest it to me on Twitter, obviously I will prioritize those in the members Discord. But if you do want to recommend to me on Twitter, twitter.com/NepentheZ, a team that you're enjoying that is worth no more than 200,000 coins, I would appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, right now, like there are so many end game players that are cheap, and so many free players that are easy to get. For example, this Futties winner Manolas, that it's surprising to me that players have teams like this. Of course, they might have just started again for a new challenge. They might have just picked up FIFA for the first time ever. Like, there's many reasons why it could be the case, but that's where we're at with that. So about this team, 330,000 coins for this team. I'll be honest, on first impressions, there is a lot better teams that you can get for the amount of coins that you're spending here. I do rate and respect the way the team is built. A cap per player instead of a cap per team for a change, and it's a full Premier League Festival of FUT team. So with that, with that in mind, in terms of creativity, it's a pretty creative team. In terms of playability with this team, there were so many things wrong with it. I wouldn't necessarily suggest this team at all. I would, however, suggest a few players out of this team. So first of all, Trippier, fantastic, and Mendy, fantastic. They were super important, actually, to the whole team. I don't think I did anything with them in terms of goals and assists, but they were both phenomenal fullbacks. So I would recommend them highly. Harry Maguire is not worth the coins that you're going to spend on him. I know he's relatively cheap anyway. Harry Maguire is currently 20,000 coins. As an example for what you could get for around the same value, the 93 Festival of FUT Kimpembe is like 23,000 coins. Okay, it doesn't fit into a Premier League team unless you've got icons and Frenchmen in that team. But Harry Maguire at 20,000 coins versus Kimpembe at 24,000 coins, like, Kimpembe heads and shoulders better than Maguire. I don't know why you would use Maguire on purpose, personally. Rojo was okay, not amazing. Again, what I think is wrong with this back line, specifically the two centre-backs, is that you've got two relatively slow centre-backs and only a shadow card on the slowest one. And against the kind of players that you come up against now with all the pace up front, it's going to haunt you. It's just going to cost you goals constantly. And in fact, in the final of the Daily Knockout Tournament, you do see the lack of pace from my centre-backs caused me quite big issues. Aaron Moy is a good card. I have no faults with him. He wasn't outstanding, but he wasn't bad either. Like, he was just kind of like a non-entity in the game. I think, again, for how much you have to pay for Aaron Moy, what is he at? 34,000 coins. There are so many better players out there for that kind of value that, although he was a decent enough player in the team, if you've got him untradeable and you've got a Premier League team, yeah, sure, go ahead and use him. But I wouldn't recommend him personally. Pedro up front was great. He scored a lot of goals and got a whole bunch of assists, and he was probably my favourite player on the team was Pedro. I still would say to play him in the right mid spot and play Shaqiri up front, but he did a great job up front. He got involved in the play really, really well. He was always linking up the midfielders and the attack, and even though we had his instructions set to get in behind and stay central, he just seemed to be a really good, like, creative attacker. So I really, really did enjoy Pedro. And then Shaqiri's another one that I wasn't really that interested in. 35,000 coins for Shaqiri. Or you could go and get that Lozano 92 rated card for 35,000 coins as well. This team that we come up against here, for example, this is a cheap team. Memphis Depay is like 30k. Roussillon is like discard 20k. 94 Fekir is like 40k, and he's as good as or better than anyone that we already have on this squad. Like, there are some good players in this team, like I say. I just think it's a waste of coins, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Nasser Chadli was good. I think we spoke about this when building the team. After playing with him, I would probably say he would be better suited as a cam or a centre midfielder in like a 4-3-1-2 or something. Santi Cazorla was also very, very good. He was a really good spark in that midfield. Like, love having 5-star weak foot players. So Santi Cazorla and Pedro were both phenomenal for that reasons. And for how cheap Cazorla is at 30,000, I actually do think that this is a reasonable card for 30,000 coins. There are so many other cards out there for 20 to 28,000, 30, 35,000 that are as good or better. But I really, really enjoy playing with Cazorla. He just has a really low centre of gravity, so really high agility, high balance. His control is phenomenal, his passing is great. Obviously it gives you a set piece specialist with corners and free kicks, having him on the squad, which is absolutely amazing. And then he can score a goal or two like this as well. Lovely little roulette there, and bangs that one past the goalkeeper to make it 5-1. So he was good. And then we go up front to the striker, Chicharito. He scored a lot of goals for me, and in that sense, you know, his positioning was great. One thing that you need in FIFA 18, especially at this late stage in the game, because of how good so many back lines are, is you need a lot of pace up front, a lot of agility, and just basically you need to fit the meta. The Futties Martial, the Futties Rashford, they both fit that perfectly. The players like Cristiano Ronaldo, or you know, you got players any like kind of major overpowered striker. Neymar is another great one to suggest that is just super overpowered. Eden Hazard, you know, someone who's got really high agility, really high balance, incredibly well-rounded stats, and exemplary pace. And what I feel like Hernandez misses is the pace. Okay, he's got good enough dribbling and composure. He's got great finishing. He really does clean up. Like every good opportunity I had with him to score, he pretty much scored it, and that was obviously a beautiful thing. But because of his lack of pace, I actually struggled to create as many opportunities as I would have been able to create if I had had someone up front with blistering pace. Now, Pedro is relatively fast, but because of the chem style we had on him and the fact that he has a low sprint speed, a low acceleration, both of our strikers just seemed lethargic. Didn't really give me that feel of, if I was going to counter someone, I didn't have that feel of, I'm going to destroy this guy here. I had that feel of, oh God, his backline's going to catch me. And that's not really something that you want out of the team. So we end up going 3-0 down in the final. We pull it back to 3-2 here. Santi Cazorla with another fantastic goal. I end up pulling it back to 3-3, and I go on to win it 6-4 in extra time. In summary, I mean, this was a fun squad to play with. I just feel like there are so many better players that you can put towards, you know, like buy with your coins, essentially. I struggled in some of the games here as well. The team is relatively lethargic. One of the biggest issues with this team is it has a lot of players with low agility and low balance, and that is a problem for me personally. Maybe it's just the way I play the game, but I found that to be a bit of a problem. And yeah, although we scored a lot of goals throughout the course of the 4 games, we were in the daily knockout tournament. I do actually think if I took this team into Division 1, I would be lucky to have a 50% win rate. You know, I'd be lucky to win 1, lose 1 if I took this to D1. We end up winning the daily knockout tournament with it though, so it is a competent enough team to get you through the DKT, get you into FUT Champs if that's what your aim is for, or if you're looking to just add a couple of players to your team. As I said before, I would highly recommend CAZORLA, I would highly recommend Pedro, I would highly recommend Mendy and Trippier. The rest of the team, I just wouldn't even spend the coins on. I don't think they're value for coins. I don't think they're value for money. Overall, I'll probably give this team like a 6 out of 10. As I said, it's fun to play with, and I was able to win games with it, but ultimately, it wasn't the greatest team in the world. You can see there as well, so 4 games, no goals, 4 games, no goals, 4 games, no goals. On Maguire too. 1 assist for Maguire, however. 4 games, no goals for Mendy. And as we go through the stats of the players right at the end here, guys, I want to thank you for watching. If you do want to recommend teams for the best team in FIFA, twitter.com/NepentheZ, or if you're in the members Discord, I'll prioritise your teams through the members Discord. I hope you enjoy the best team in FIFA coming back. We're going to alternate the best team in FIFA with Draft Glory over the next few weeks until FIFA 19, so I'm excited for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.